Donna here with Sparkle and Sprinkle, and for this designer spotlight technique, I am going to be diving into this awesome background, and this was done by Irit, and we are going to be using for this fantastic technique the 2.5 inch Tear-ific tape by Sparkle and Sprinkle, the 1/8 inch Tear-ific tape, and then 3 of our Sparkle and Sprinkle microfine glitters. The Cloud 9, the beautiful Hickory, and the beautiful Butterscotch. And of course, the stamp set we used in this card is the Spring Chickens stamp set from our September stamp release. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this technique. Okay, so to get started, the supplies you're going to need. Now I'm just going to show you how to recreate this background that one of our amazing designers, Irit, did with this month's card reveal. And you can go to sparkleandsprinkle.net and check out our designer's blogs where you can get her full instructions. But I wanted to highlight a special technique that she used here in her amazing card that is just fantastic. And I'm gonna go ahead and recreate it just using some of the supplies that I have, so it won't be exactly like hers. So obviously when you're doing the same thing and recreating something that a designer does, you don't always have the exact products. So the stamp set that we're highlighting here is Spring Chicken stamp set, and that's 914, and that is from the September release. And I went ahead and cut out a piece of cardstock, and this is a 5 1/4 by 3 3/4. So that was already pre-cut, and again, it's not exactly like our fabulous designer chose, but it was just something similar, like a wood grain piece of cardstock. And now I'm gonna take our 2.5 by 2.5 1/4 inch Tear-ific tape. I'm going to go ahead and trim that, and then I am going to center it. Now the nice thing about having my glass mat is I can be absolutely perfect in laying this down even. So for those of you that really like to make sure you're totally even, having a gridded glass mat underneath is very helpful, and you can find those at sparkleandsprinkle.net. Okay, so once I have laid my 2.5 by 2.5 down, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim my edges. So the nice thing about Tear-ific tape is it has that backing on it where you can layer it. So even these big edges here do not go to waste. So when I go ahead and glue my seine on or other items, when I'm mounting them and layer them, I'm keeping all my little scrap pieces. So just keep that in mind. Trim my second edge. Just like that. And I always flip over my cardstock so I could use the flat line of the paper to guide me to have a nice even cut. Okay, so I do not have these little number dies that she had. This might even be one die if I remember, but I am not sure. So what I went ahead and did is I had this larger one that I picked up a while ago at my local craft store. And I know you guys have all heard me time and time again, when you take off the backing of your Tear-ific tape to save this, because this is magic paper, everybody. So keep a little envelope or a baggie or a file folder and save all of your backing papers, because that is what she used to create this fantastic stencil. So these were all pre-die cut out of my backing paper. So I went ahead and ran those through my die cut machine and made a whole bunch of these. And now I can also keep these in with my die in a little baggie and use them again another time. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and place my numbers randomly all around in a throw pattern. It's such a fun die, such a fun background, such a great idea that I really wanted it to be highlighted on this technique of the week for everybody. So our designers do fantastic things, and I'm going to be picking a couple different techniques that they've shown you on their cards and be doing a video of those. So stay tuned for this new fun feature that we will be bringing to you at Sparkle and Sprinkles YouTube page. And I just love it. The great part about this too is what a fantastic, funny, and fun birthday card. The nice thing, if you place these down and you don't exactly like where you put it, you can pick it up and move it. All right, I think that is going to be it. Maybe we'll throw a little one there. Okay, now that that's done, you're gonna wanna make sure it's really, really, really sealed in there before you apply your glitter. So what's fantastic about your Tear-ific tape is it also has a nice brayer. So this is going to be used as my brayer now, and I am just going to make sure all of my numbers are nice and stuck in there. Just like that. So you can see nothing is lifted. So now when I go and add my cloud 9, nothing's gonna go underneath. So it's gonna be a great stencil. So I'm doing this and showing you what our designer created, but obviously you can do this technique for all sorts of different dies. That could be a straight happy birthday saying, that could be a bunch of flowers in the background, hearts. So you name it, if you have the die, you can do it. So burnish that in. I'm gonna tap this off, poured a lot on there. And I am going to set this aside, and I'm just gonna continue burnishing. So I'm applying a heavy amount of pressure because I want to make sure when I add my darker color next that no space, no adhesive does not have glitter on it right now. So really give that a good rub down. And I didn't do this with the whole pile of my cloud 9 because what happens is this glitter, when you're doing that tight burnishing and pushing really hard, it tends to pick up any oils on your hand, or if your fingers, even though you just washed your hands, you're really kind of like scrubbing the tips of your fingers. So over time, it's going to change the color of your cloud 9 to a nice, beautiful white, to a little bit dingier color. So I took that pile off. I took the majority of it off and then collected it here. So then I'm gonna discard this. All right, so now to remove all of your little Tear-ific tape background stencils that you created, your numbers, you can use your craft pick, which is my favorite thing to use, but of course at this very moment, I cannot find it because that is the joy of a crafter, right? You know it's your favorite tool if you can't find it. Okay, so I am going to just go ahead and pop all of these off with my X-Acto knife. And I'm just basically going to the end, doing a little lift and bringing it up. So like think if you have one large item, like a flower or a seine, this goes very quickly. But with all these little numbers, it's gonna take a little bit longer. You gotta be a little bit more patient because you've got to do one at a time. And if you plan on saving these, you need to be very patient not to lift them up too hard and rip them. But if you're just gonna trash them when you're done and just making one card, then you can go a little quicker. So I'm gonna speed up the rest while I finish this. My lovely assistant brought me my craft pick Thank you, Demo D. So just showing you the different uses. You know, it's so nice when you have a crafty helper in the house that sometimes likes to borrow your things. So here you can see the difference of the craft pick. Makes it a little bit easier because you can actually lift up the items with it as well without cutting them with the X-Acto knife. Make sure while you're lifting all that up you do your best not to touch the exposed adhesive. All right, so the show goes on. I'm gonna be using my Hickory now. This is one of the newer microfine glitters from Sparkle and Sprinkle. And I am just simply going to pour that on. Use my finger tool. And now I'm going a little bit lighter now. I'm not pushing down so aggressively where it might shift some of the adhesive on the lighter background. So I'm just doing a light burnishing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tap that off. Take your glitter resist brush and see how nice and clean that is. That's because you did such a great job burnishing it in the beginning. So isn't that amazing? You've got this beautiful glittery background and now these beautiful glitter numbers, so clean and precise. That's the nice thing about using your dies on your Tear-ific tape with your microfine glitter. All right, so next, and I wish you guys could feel this, feel how smooth that is. It's like magical. It's magical, I tell you. All right, so next I'm gonna show you the technique that she did on her border here. And then we're gonna finish with some crystal drops. And then you will get to go and create. So I'm going to just add a nice little 1/8 inch border here, which really finishes the look on the top and the bottom. If I can find there we go. I have this on my tape dispenser as well, and it helps when you pull out enough that's the length of your card. It's just one of those fun days. Fun day. All right, there we go. And lay that down. And now I'm going to trim my edges. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. There you go. Push those down. Peel off the backing of your tape. And then I'm just going to simply peel off the backing of the front and the back. I mean the top and the bottom. And then I'm just going to do a little sprinkle here. And then I'm just going to rub my finger on it while I wipe that off. Take my glitter resist brush. And then I'm gonna do the same on this side. And a lot of our designers do this really cool technique where they add more than one glitter color to a border. And it really turns out quite nice. It's really pretty, really fun, and ties in all the colors that you're using into your card or your scrapbook page. So keep that in mind. All right, and then next we are gonna finish off with our Butterscotch, which is a very popular microfine glitter. If you do not have a yellow in your microfine glitter collection, this is a beautiful one. Looks beautiful with the sunflower stamp we just released. Looks really, really pretty and such a gorgeous yellow, a very happy yellow. All right, and now I'm just going to use my glitter resist brush. And now I've got a very cool background and border. And then our last step here, because we are not completing the whole card, the technique was just on the background, is I'm going to be using the Yellowbird crystal drops just to show you how cute they are on your background as an embellishment. So you can use your stamp set, which this is the rubber stamp set here, or you can use the digital stamp, which is what our designer did. So it's the pre-colored, this is the Spring Chicken Digi stamp set. So she just went ahead and printed that out, which was so nice, and then able to add it. So remember, when you are doing nice big projects like this, you don't have to, you know, spend all that time working on your background and then coloring your image. You can actually use your digital images that are pre-colored. So I'm just going to throw a little crystal drops on there so you could see them. And then that is it. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this week's Technique of the Week, inspired by one of our fabulous designers, Irit. Make sure you go check out the blog. Thank you so much for watching.